There are small creators on TikTok currently earning more than some full-time workers by simply uploading videos which they would upload anyway. They're doing this through something called the TikTok Creativity Program Beta, which, as you would have seen by the title of this video, is what we're going to be delving into. Now, one of the reasons why some creators earn as high as they do via this beta is through something called the RPM. So we're going to talk about the RPM in this video, what it is exactly, just scale things back and go back to basics, what influences the RPM exactly, what causes it to be as high or as low as it is. We're also going to run through some examples of creators that have publicly shared their screenshots via various platforms to get an idea of how much exactly people are earning via these RPMs, to also illustrate to you and give you an idea of how much you could potentially be earning if you are eligible and if you do opt into this creativity beta. RPM stands for revenue per miller, or revenue per 1,000 views, miller representing 1,000 in French. Now, YouTube follows the same structure. They have an RPM, but don't get it confused with the CPM, because the CPM is cost per miller. So cost per miller is what advertisers pay per 1,000 views in order for their ads to be put in front of those videos. The mystery behind TikTok on their dashboards, unlike YouTube, which shows both RPM and CPM, TikTok does not. TikTok only shows the RPM that the creator is getting paid based on. Now, whether that's due to the UX and they simply could not fit in the metrics for the CPM on that small dashboard, or whether it's a case of they are just holding that information back as we're still in beta phase, I've got absolutely no idea. In my perspective, it would be nice to get some transparency around what the CPM is, so creators get an idea of what the split is between what TikTok gets from advertisers per 1,000 views and how much that creator gets paid. Again, at a high level, RPM, revenue per miller, this is what you get paid per 1,000 views, whereas CPM is cost per miller. This is how much the platform owner gets paid per 1,000 views in order for the adverts to get shown and put in front of your viewers. What influences an RPM? Now, this is more or less similar whether you're on TikTok or on YouTube, but again, at a higher level, it tends to be things like your niche. So if, for example, you're within the business, e-commerce, finance niche, or a very, very specific niche like insurance, website creation, your RPM tends to be quite high because you've got a specific audience that you're focusing your content towards, and advertisers are going to fall over themselves to get to those audiences because you've got a specific audience. For example, if you're talking specifically about Wix, which is a website creation platform online, if Wix is paying YouTube for ads, they will fall over themselves and pay as high as they can possibly pay to get in front of those audience, because you are already targeting your content towards people that are interested in creating websites using Wix. For example, you could be doing demo videos, you could be doing how-to videos around Wix, you could be doing Q&As around Wix, you could be doing all sorts of different content that's focused around that particular company. That's where you get crazy high CPMs, $60, $70 per 1,000 views. It can go all the way up to even hundreds in some cases per 1,000 views because it's specific. So the more specific your audience are, most likely the more higher your CPM as well. And again, depending on what niche you're in. Equally, on the other end of the scale, the more varied your audience are, if you're just creating videos around any old trend that comes around and you don't have a specific audience geared towards a particular niche, your RPM is going to be low because advertisers don't know who watches your videos. They don't know how old they are. They don't know what they're interested in. So they're taking a risk by advertising and putting their adverts in front of your audience. So they're probably going to say, okay, yeah, we'll still advertise in front of them, but we're not going to pay as high as we would for someone that's got a targeted audience. Another influence may be the time of the year as well. So for example, around Christmas time, a lot of companies tend to do a lot of campaigns, a lot of pushes towards their products, a lot of advertising, whereas during, for example, January might not have as many companies advertising. RPM may fluctuate based on that. Also, the overall economy, if there's like a overall worldwide recession or something like that, that could also affect, or if where your viewers are based there's a recession or something like that, that can also affect how high or how low your RPM is. Another big influence as well, and let me have a bit of a rant about this, is viewer location. So if your viewers, for example, are mostly based in the USA, we know the dollar is generally quite a strong currency compared to other currencies around the world. Yes, it fluctuates, but generally it's pretty consistent. You will have a slightly higher RPM as opposed to someone whose target audience is, for example, India. Now, not hating on my Indian people here, I love you guys, but all my videos that have had majority views come from India, the RPM plummets, which is understandable because the currency is not as high as in some other countries. So that also influences how high or how low your RPM is. In summary, your niche, time of the year, overall economic conditions, viewer location, and there's probably a bunch of other factors as well that go in there, which we're not going to run through in this video. Got screenshots of people that are in the creativity program beta, so you've got an idea of roughly what the RPMs are based on people's information that they've shared. You can see the person over their lifetime while being in the creativity program beta, they've earned $12,665. RPM is 193, which is pretty sick. I've seen RPMs lower than that on YouTube on longer videos, so this person is doing very, very well. I would imagine and assume that they're in a niche which is advertiser friendly, where advertisers are willing to pay TikTok more than average to get in front of that audience. We can see they've got an estimated amount of 142 for that particular day, and they've also got 73.8k qualified views for that day. At the bottom you can also see how much their payments fluctuate, so they can be really high at times and they can be really low at times. What I'm curious about is looking at how low that dot is at 66.70. At its highest, how much have they earned within like a single day? That would be interesting to find out, but again, that just gives you an idea of what the RPMs are. And again, linking back to what I said about TikTok not showing the CPM, we have no idea how much TikTok have earned or what CPM TikTok have charged the advertisers on the back of this. It would be nice for TikTok to show that somewhere within that dashboard.